Chasing money ain't the same nowadays. A lot of niggas ain't the same nowadays. Flip game ain't the same nowadays. No, nothing ain't the same nowadays. Chasing money ain't the same nowadays. A lot of niggas ain't the same nowadays. Flip game ain't the same nowadays. No, nothing ain't the same nowadays. 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 Nowadays.
All right, here we are with another week of Nowadays. I am your host, Seldom. Special guest today, Blacksmith 24/7 is in the house.
What up, what up?
I still feel, if anybody can hear me, if I have an echo in my voice, you can type it in the chat room, or if you know me personally, hit me on the text. I still hear that echo. You hear the echo?
Actually, it ain't bad, though. I can hear it.
All right.
Yeah, we good, though.
So I think I roll with mine that maybe my volume was up though too much. All right, so here we go. Tonight's topic is women versus men. Do we understand each other? Are we ever on the same page? Now, before we go too deep in here, the number to dial is 315-925-7262. That's 315-925-7262. For all the ladies out there, again, I know I'm going to get a little backlash tonight, but please call in. Let's talk about it. Have a little debate. Again, these are just my opinions. I'm not always right, nor am I always wrong. So let's just have a little debate, man, and take it from there.
Friendly discussion.
Yeah, that's what we'll call it.
Not a debate. Friendly discussion.
An open discussion.
Yeah,
let's have an open discussion.
Some good dialogue. Try and get to know one another better.
Yeah.
Get down to the nitty gritty.
There you go. I mean, I think this topic came up because last week we just had what was the topic about? Accountability, right?
Yeah.
And I know I had some callers call in, but then we had some people after the show were saying, they had a difference of opinion. And again, this is why we're having this show. We welcome your point of view. This is what this is about. Nobody's going to agree with everything, but I just like to understand the way people think, and I like to understand the different points of views. So this is why we have these discussions. So again, the topic came up because we were discussing certain things, and a lot of women didn't agree. And again, call in. If you don't want to call in, we are now on YouTube Live also, so you can go to the C2C Indie Radio YouTube page. You can join the chat room. You can post all your little questions and comments there if you like. Or again, you can go to c2cindieradio.com, go to Talk Sports News, listen to it there, or you can download the app, Google Play or the App Store. So, Blacksmith 24/7, what do you think, man? You think we will ever be on the same page as women?
I want to say no, but it's tricky, man. It's a slippery slope. It's tricky because there are some women that do understand or can relate, do have an open mind, I should say.
Okay.
There's some that do, and then there's others that's just like, nah, fuck that. So, I say it's tricky, man. I find more men compromising than women. We compromise more, and I know the women definitely should be able to agree with that.
Hold up, you said that we compromise more?
Yeah, we do more of the compromising, man.
This is where you got to bump heads, man, because all sides are going to think that, for themselves. Women think they compromise more, and we think we compromise more. This is why I need them to call in and have a little friendly discussion with us. But go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting. Tell me.
I definitely feel we compromise.
Yeah, tell us how.
With just, with certain things, because half the time we don't want to argue. So it's just more like, all right, fuck it, you got it. Because I ain't about to sit here and go back and forth, especially when they got their mind made up. And like I said, it's vice versa. Because there's been times in my relationship where, hey, I got my mind made up. I don't care what you say. I'm already set. My mind is set on that. I'm
So then they're gonna say, well, if it's both ways, then how you feel that we compromise?
Because it's more of us that do it well. And I'm only speaking for me. I can't speak for anybody else. I'm only speaking for me and in my relationships. I do a lot more compromising, you know, than my wife do. So.
And why is that? Not 50-50 in the household, man?
Nah, I mean, just because a lot of times, like I said, it's either I just don't feel like arguing or it's just like, all right, like, whatever. It's just whatever.
Now, does that help or
For
harm
me,
the situation?
yes, because it depends on the situation. You know what I mean? If the situation is not that serious, all right, now I'm not going to go all out about it. All right, it's something that I can manage I can manage with. Cool, all right, I can manage that. Go ahead. But, I mean, now if it's something that, there has been situations where I stuck to my guns. It was like, hey, I don't care what you say. You know what I mean? Like, it's that, hey, nope, I don't care. I'm not budging. But the difference half the time, I let her know that I don't care. I'm not budging. So, what I mean? It's like, hey.
Yeah, I was being quiet. I was trying to figure out where this echo was coming from, but I think I figured it out.
Yeah, because it is different now.
I think I figured it out. So, all right, okay. So, the caller who sent me a text telling me, there was an echo. Let me know how it sounds now. Thank you.
Should be a difference now, though.
All right. So, back to the topic, man.
I can hear the difference.
Are we ever going to be on the same page? Do you think men and women will ever see eye to eye? And if so, for how long? Is it a temporary fix? We will always have these little, as you say, friendly conversations.
Because, seeing eye to eye, though, to me, it depends on the situation. You know what I mean? Of course, we're not going to see eye to eye on every single thing. So, given the situation, we may see eye to eye on it. Because it's not every single, it's just not going to happen. That's with anybody. It's just not going to happen, seeing eye to eye all the time, every time. That just ain't going to happen. That ain't even men and women. That's men and men, women and women. So, it's not going to happen where everybody going to see eye to eye all the time.
So is it like the what's the old book, man? Men are from Mars and women are from Venus. So is there some truth in that book?
Again, I say, given the circumstance, given the situation.
Okay.
Because a situation is different. There are some things where my wife look and say, okay, I agree with that. And there's some things I look at her and say, okay, you know what? I agree. You're right. I agree with that.
All
So,
right.
It's not going to be, to me, like I said, depending on the situation. I think a lot of our disagreements or different views came with the kids. That's where the majority of ours came in at.
I was going to ask that question, man. I was going to say, let's really get down to it. Is it easier, or do you find that it's easier to get along with a female friend? And the friend, or if you're in a relationship with a female?
Yeah. A friend, again, is different. Because, a friend, that's just that, a friend. So it's just like, all right. But
what? You're supposed to be able to get along better with your girlfriend, right? With your partner, right?
It's I don't have female friends like that, so I can't.
All right, but when you did let's go back on past experiences. When you just had just a female friend, y'all was just like real cool, just friends. Was it easier to get along with her than it is to get along with a partner when you started having a relationship?
Again, I never had female friends like that, so that's hard for me to actually answer. I never had a female. I tried to, but then it was like they start catching feelings.
So you can't get your dick in your pants, Mike?
Yeah, that's what I said. They start having feelings, not me. I said they start having the feelings. So you know what I mean?
All right.
I haven't
before that. All right, before the touchy feely stuff came into play. when you guys are just friends?
Never was touchy-feely, but
Cause y'all just really get along. Can you have an open dialect? Did you pause before you said something? Was she pausing? See, the point I'm trying to make is it easier for you to be open and say things to a friend than it is when you're actually in a relationship. It seems like people do the opposite. It seems like when they get into a relationship, all of a sudden they can't say this, they can't say that, and I think that's the opposite.
see, but that's not me. Whether if we friends or in a relationship, I'm gonna be upfront and open anyway, regardless. That's just me. I'm not gonna bite my tongue and hide. I'm not gonna do it. So,
Okay.
whether we friends or
A lot of people can't have that same dialect
Or in a
with a friend,
relationship.
then because again, once you get into relationships, man, there's expectations. Whether people want to admit that or not, you have an expectation. Just a second, we have a caller.
got a caller in the house.
Just a second, caller, you're on the line.
Okay. I want to comment on the topic that you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
It's harder on the women because the women make a lot of sacrifices for men. So at the end of the day, women take on more than the men. Men will go out and work. Some will, some won't. Some are willing to take care of their children. Some will, some won't. But at the end of the day, mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
Okay, so now that you say that your position as far as women doing more, just like I asked Blacksmith. So how do you what are you standing on by saying that? Why do you feel that you guys do more? Because we go to work too. We do the same thing you guys do. From what I see now, especially nowadays, I don't really see women do anything that they used to do back in the day. They don't cook. They don't clean. What else, Blacksmith?
Well, that's not all women. So
I just said, hey, but I'm just saying, compared to back in the day, there's a big difference.
Okay, so I'll take myself as an example.
Okay.
In the beginning, when I first met the love of my life, I didn't know how to cook. I didn't know nothing about being on my own. But I did learn to be on my own with him and his help. So we did it as a unit. And now I'm not saying everybody will and can do it that way, but we had our trials and tribulations, ups and downs. And I would cook for him. He cooked for me. I cleaned. We both worked. It wasn't about you, or me. It was, we came together as one. Then we also, later in life, then it became, we had 3 children. And our children were very successful because they followed what me and their father did. So it can be done. It's all in whether or not you choose to do it the right or the wrong way.
Yeah, and that's what I was just explaining to Blacksmith earlier, whereas it should be 50-50 or 100-100, however people want to dice it up. But it's never really that. So again, this is why I always say, are we ever going to be on the same page? Or when we have different discussions, it's like, I don't know. I don't think women listen to men half the time. I think sometimes you guys ask a question, as soon as we start talking, it's like, until we get done. And it's like, what you say? You ever get that?
I think it depends on the situation. You know, I mean,
I agree with that. And sometimes people are argumentative. So some people will shut down instead of giving you feedback, and that's not good either. So Clear communication, that's the key to any successful relationship. You have to be, and it has to have trust in there. Once that trust and communication is lost, there is no relationship.
I agree, and I will get back to one of our old podcasts we had previously about definitions. This is why I tell people you need to understand you got to have the same definitions, because what you may call love, friendship, loyalty, we all have something different for it. So you got to be on the same page.
Absolutely. And then also, in order to continue to grow in a relationship, I might like French toast and eggs every morning. then I get to a point where later on in our relationship, I don't like French toast and eggs no more, but he's still fixing me French toast and eggs. So that means you're not communicating with me, you're not asking me, and I'm not communicating with you saying, I'm tired of French toast and eggs.
Right. I agree. I mean,
So that's why you always got to sit down with each other, if it's once a month, just to have a overall talk of, okay, what's been going on as far as our household, what's been going on this way, or what's been going on that way. And then it's nothing wrong with calling your significant other, your spouse, whichever way you want to call it, up and saying, hey, how's your day going? You might need that phone call. And that right there is a part of the communication. We are so lost in the Black community with showing sympathy and empathy to each other.
Now, what you said exactly is a mouthful, and it actually comes from experience, because as a youth, a lot of things that you just said we don't understand and we don't know. We don't recognize until we get older, until we actually go through some things. Because I can admit, growing up, even though I grew up a lot faster than others, because I kind of put myself in that situation to do that, I just saw some things, I think, before other people, because I paid attention to my older brothers and I paid attention to older people who were talking to me. I paid attention to their situations. But when you're young, you don't understand what you just said about being able to communicate, and things do change, and you have to be able to communicate that with each other. Like you were just saying about what you like now, you may not like later on in life. And that is a key thing, because I'm glad you said that, because that's what I couldn't accept as a kid. I didn't get that people changed. It was like, why? See, in my head, it was like, changing for what? Why do you want to change? If it was working, if things are what they are, I didn't understand what the change was about. So, I mean, that was a good point. I appreciate it, and I hope the younger kids who are listening understand that, because, again, I had to learn that lesson that people do change, and you have to be able to accept that change. Just like you may change, and they have to accept whether or not, your change.
Right. And also one very, very important thing, when you're in a relationship, the relationship is between you and your spouse, not you, your homegirl, not you and your friend, not you and your mother,
That's
your brother, your father,
too.
your sister. So you have to be careful who you tell and what you share. And that's all I have to say.
All right. Well, I still don't agree that women do more, but thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
Wait a minute. Before I hang up, and I will say that you know why women do more? We carry them for 9 months.
Oh.
There you go. That's why we do more.
Hey, you got me on that one. So you win.
Have a good one.
Thanks for calling in. Bye.
No problem.
But they know.
Hey, man, I can't even beat that, man.
Hey, but they ain't carrying nothing until we plant that seed, though.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, I ain't lying. I'm not carrying one for 9, so you can try it.
That's a 50-50 right there.
All right, the number to dial is 315-925-7262. If you're on the YouTube channel, again, you can go on there. You can hit the chat if you want. You also see the banner. You can see the number to dial. You'll see the days that comes on, the time, and the topic. So, again, the number to dial is 315-925-7262. The topic is women versus men. Do we understand each other? Are we ever on the same page?
But I definitely agree with that caller, man, as far as, it is communication, listening. Gotta listen to the other person. You gotta be willing to listen. Not just got another one. Not just
Nice. I had to find out, man, you have to be willing to accept. Just a second.
So figure this was gonna be a hot topic today, man. Figure this was gonna be a hot one.
All right. Mike, you're on the air. What's up?
Not much. How you guys doing, man?
Doing good, man. Thanks for calling in.
Oh, man, this is a good topic. Men versus women. Are we on the same page? No. I'm going to tell you that right now. Testosterone, estrogen, 2 different things. I think men, we base our decisions off of being logical. Women base most of their decisions off of emotion. And it's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but we're not the same. We ain't on the same page. So as a man, you have to, and a woman, you have to learn each other, learn how to, we want to accomplish certain goals, learn how to work as a team. But, sometimes you have to take charge as a man. That's just in your nature. And the problem is today is women want men to be women.
You think the roles? You think they want the roles to change?
Yeah, we can't do it. That's just in our genetic genes to think like a man. You know what I'm saying? Boy, whatever. You know what I'm saying? A girl ain't thinking about jumping off garages. As a kid, they follow sometimes, but it's usually the boys jumping the garages and climbing the trees, and it's not as common. You know what I mean? Not just a natural, you know what I'm saying, instinct. It's like you can't tell a horse how to run. They wake up on these feet, like they're born on these feet. So you know what I mean?
I get it.
It's just a genetic thing, not natural, man. Like we are two different. We're the same. We got blood and all that stuff, this and that, but.
All right.
If you want to go back to religion, they took the rib out of a man. A woman was made for a man to be a man's helper.
And what about all the women right now who are calling you a feminist, man?
No, that's a modern day woman. They're not most men, in our generation, whether we had two parents in the house or not, we cook our own food. We do our own laundry. We do our own. You're not saying that's a woman's job, but that's something they did while the man went out and made that money, But now women have to get out and work and do all these things.
All right, so now, are you going with the other caller now? Because she said she feel that women do more because of that, because they're out here getting money, doing all the things that we're supposed to be doing.
Well, they do more as far as taking care of the kids and stuff, but we're all gonna think we do more. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying we'll never be on the same page. Do you ever think we'll understand each other?
That building you sitting there right now, ain't no man built that. I mean, no woman built that. A man built that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're sitting in a country that we built. When the slaves, even back then, it wasn't the guys, the women building the railroad tracks, and they did like the household stuff and the cooking and if you want to go far back. Traditionally, now the modern day women is totally different. They got doctor's degrees now and this and that. And they figure their money, and it goes back to they want to be a wife or they want to be single their whole life, whatever. They live your life. But I think it depends on the situation, like Mike was saying earlier. Come on, man. We will never, think exactly alike, but we will agree on some things, That's it. And not just in a relationship, but like women on the street. There's some women that don't agree you opening the door for them. Like, we ain't on the same page. I'm trying to be a gentleman.
I don't think women today are used to that.
Right. Or open to, do whatever, like, oh, you ain't romantic. Well, you can be romantic to me too. Like, a whole lot of things that, like, we want that same stuff y'all want. Like, in the bedroom, we want to accomplish the same goal, So I'm going to try to make your goal happen and you better make mine happen. On that, yeah, we can agree on that. But other things, as far as just real life and just kids and all that stuff, I believe in raising kids one way, and a woman might believe in raising kids another way. Especially like women that raise boys, they tend to kick their ass, like beat them up and shit. Versus a man raising a girl, you're not gonna like punch her in the chest and hit her, whoop her ass like that. You know what I mean? So it's a difference, man. The whole circle. It just depends on the situation once again. But we have to learn and know how to adjust to them situations, or with women we're dealing with at the time, whether it's on a professional level or relationship or whatever. So,
You gonna have a
You know,
lot of
you
women
got-
cussing you out right now, bro.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm waiting for him to call in.
You have a lot of.
I've been waiting for somebody to call in.
You can talk about me for weeks. You're gonna need probably more than a couple hours. You know, 'cause I'll go on all night about it. But I'm just saying from my age and experience with different women, and we're not all against each other, and some can work, you know, but nobody's perfect, you know, and that's what we all have to understand too. Like it's all a learning experience. We teach each other stuff every day. You can learn from a young kid just as you can learn from your woman, or you know, we learn from our parents and or uncles or aunts, whatever. So whether it's male or female, everybody, you know, you got to soak all that in and kind of use it in your life the best way you can. And some women wasn't like raised to be providers; they were raised to be providers, like what a man's job is supposed to be. So a lot of their, you know, raising the kid stuff is coming from, you know, the emotion. Like I said, you know, emotional part. Like we coming from like, man, I got to make sure this thing ain't gonna fall. You know, stay afloat, and that's the way they think too. But ours is coming from a different standpoint. I think we think more longer, future-wise versus, you know, for today. You know, so that's my opinion, man. I know, I get a whole lot of backlash off it, but I don't put it on y'all. Y'all gonna have to handle
But but no, you did touch on a valuable point, which as far as upbringing, and to me, I think that's why a lot of men and women won't be able to see eye to eye, because if we're raised differently, we're always going to see things in a different way.
Right.
I mean, if we're raised, you know, two different ways. I may be been raised in a, you know, two-family household, you know, mother and father, and all I did was watch. My mother was the Betty Crocker home baker, while my father was the one who went out and, you know, was the breadwinner. And then you got another one who may have been raised where single-family household where the mother was just that, the mother and father. So she was the Betty Crocker and you know, the breadwinner.
Right.
So, you know, when you're coming from two different lifestyles, two different upbringings, of course you're going to see things one way, another person's going to see things another way, because they never experienced that or dealt with that.
Right.
And I think that's where a lot of the differences really do stem from, you know, just being raised different. I mean, hell, you can be raised on the same street, but the household inside that house is different.
Right. You could have been spoiled your whole life, never have to do nothing, and then like, I want you to pick up that pot and pan in 6 minutes. No, we ain't gonna eat all every day. Like, do your part, I do my part, but we have to teach each other how to, you know, sometimes, you know, we just have to teach each other the way that we, you know, because we put expectations on people and on things we shouldn't, but, you know, like they should already know. Sometimes they don't know, or we don't know, you know. It's all a learning experience. That's why I listen to the old folks, because they done been there, done that. And, I'm so you know. So, you know, but they came from a different time too. Now we got all this technology and social media and all this other stuff. It changes a whole lot of stuff. Like, you know, some secrets you can keep in the household now. Like everything, as soon as they learn something, it's out there. You know? It's different.
Yeah.
It's all good, man.
That James Evans good time mentality. Kitchen in the bedroom. Let's go get
That's
you.
right. Yeah. That's
Kitchen
right.
in the bedroom.
We're going to have to let you go, man. We probably have a few more callers calling in. I want to hear what the ladies have to say, man.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't fire them up.
Yeah, I appreciate you firing them up. Like,
all right. That'll work.
thanks,
I'm
we
gonna keep
appreciate the
listening,
call,
man.
man.
Yes, sir. All right, later.
Later. All right, ladies, the number to dial is 315-925-7262. If you believe in what the other caller had to say about it, I'd like to hear about it.
Now you know. Now you know, cause my phone blowing up right now. So
He said the kitchen in the bedroom. The kitchen in the bedroom. Hey, I mean, look. Let's think about it, man. I didn't grow up back in the day. None of us did. But for some reason, it just seems to work a little better than it's working today. So maybe somebody need to call in and tell me something different. Because I don't see too many marriages lasting. And again, maybe the old, because you find out later on that people were just staying together just to be together too. They were just fighting through some things like we all go through. And everybody has issues, man. Everybody, what you think was perfect, you find out that it wasn't. They just worked through some things.
Mm-hmm.
So again, in these relationships, man, I just feel like people don't understand that for me, I think a relationship has to do with what are you willing to accept. And I try to explain that to my children. You have to be willing to accept some things in order for a relationship to work, and vice versa. Your partner has to be willing to accept some things because none of us are perfect. And that's the problem, man. We're all looking for something or someone that's perfect, and you're not going to find it. You yourself aren't perfect. So why do you expect to find something or someone who's perfect? So we got to keep that in mind, man.
And I've had this conversation with my kids plenty of times. I'm not perfect at all. Don't try to be, never pretend to be. And, no.
Uh-oh.
Got another caller.
Caller, you are on the line. What's up? What you got to talk about?
What's up, guys?
So what do you think? Do we
So
understand
first
each
of
other?
all, I think I'm gonna have to smack Blacksmith 247 when he gets home. Okay?
Hold on, I didn't say nothing. What happened?
Damn.
Because the kitchen in the bedroom is totally not like that's not where we're at right now.
I said that's what he was saying, not me. That's what the caller was
That
saying.
is exactly what I am shocked. I'm actually shocked with that caller's whole act. I never would have thought that he could sound like a chauvinist asshole.
And it began.
He said hey man, that was his opinion, and he was like, from his experience, it just seems like that's what it works. That's what works, right? Maybe he said y'all trying to do too much, man. Let a man be a man. That's all he was saying.
Trying to do too much. Well, I don't know. You know what? He just sounds like a chauvinist asshole. But Blacksmith 247 sounded just like him with that comment at the end. So
No, I said that was his thought, not mine. I said, so what he's saying is women belong in the kitchen.
You've said it before.
Kitchen in the bedroom.
That's the first time those words coming out your mouth.
Don't hurt him, all right? Don't hurt him when you get home.
Please, Hammer, don't hurt him. No.
You know he bruised easily, so don't hurt him.
That's not me. Listen, I know how my household works, so I don't look at my household that way.
Oh, we see how it works. We hear how it works.
No. See, now you about to get some shit started, though. Don't get shit started now. We go.
First of all, I don't abuse my husband. Okay, let's just take that whole statement off the table. It was a joke.
All right, we got to end this call. So let's
What?
So what's up? We want to know: will we ever understand each other, and do you ever think we'll be on the same page?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I do agree. There's a lot of times women do base a lot of their decisions off emotions. I agree with that.
Okay.
But there's a lot of headstrong women out there these days who look at it like they don't need a man to
And do you
live.
think that's helping or hurting the situation? It's okay to be headstrong, but again, you could be headstrong.
No, I don't think it's healthy at all. Because I do agree that it's with the caller before your last one there, that it takes both of them. It takes both parties, and communication is a big part of it. You're not always going to see eye to eye, but I don't know. You got to compromise with those situations.
okay. And speaking of compromise, let's clear that up. Who do most of the compromising?
It depends on the situation. Don't even go there.
Yeah.
I told you.
There are
every
times.
side is
Listen,
gonna say them.
there are times where he compromises more, and there's times where I compromise more. It depends on the situation.
Okay.
When it comes to the kids, it's him compromising more.
No, that's when it comes to the grandkids. It's a difference.
What?
That's when it comes to the grandkids. It's a difference.
Yeah, well, like I said, it depends on the situation. But no, I mean, I have my way of thinking. He has his way of thinking, and sometimes it's right, sometimes it's not. But we just need to work together.
And again, so do
'Cause
you?
there's things that you guys do that I don't understand.
Right.
One in particular, but I'm not going to get into it.
Here is the show. This is the show that
What?
you ask those questions,
Exactly.
so
What
you
is it
can
that
get
you don't
the
understand?
answers. What don't you understand about it? And I can only tell you from my point of
Do
view.
you want me to really say it on the air?
Let it out. What's that?
Blacksmith 247. What am I going to say?
I don't know what you gonna say.
Yeah, I think that's back in. That's a problem with this mic.
So, Yep, there it is.
So YouTube is back on.
All right. Had a little technical difficulties right there, but now we're back. All right. So once again, the number to dial is 315-925-7262. It's 315-925-7262 is the number to dial. So please call in. We are back. Had a little technical difficulties real quick. But now we are rolling. So if you're on the YouTube is up. You should see the number to dial. You can comment live if you don't want to call in on YouTube, ask your question, and we will try and answer your question when we see it come through. So once again, the topic for today is women versus men. Men versus women. Do we understand each other? Are we on the same page?
Got to make sure everything, yep. All right, everything is up and running.
Are we on the same page?
I think we have a couple more guests arriving soon. Want to see if HG and COE pop down in the studios for the night. So again, man, we had this topic because, you know, a lot of times, man, I'm talking to the mother of my children, and it just seems like 1 minute we're on the same page, and it's like, I don't know, man. Sometimes we just make a left turn out the blue. I'm trying to figure it out. It just comes from any, you know, and look, I've learned a few things, again, being in relationships, man, and trying to figure things out. And sometimes you have to grow up and you just have to learn to accept things, man. And I had to learn to accept some things. Again, I'm stuck on like loyalty. I don't know, if you tell me something, man, I'll try to bank on that. Again, I've gotten spoiled with guarantees. Again, I've come from a family of 4 boys, man, and we made guarantees to each other. If you guys heard us speak on previous podcasts, you understand our relationships. So I've been spoiled with that kind of relationship. I'm stuck on a guarantee, again. So if you bring me anything less than that, I pretty much don't want it. So again, if you say something to me, man, I'll believe it. If I believe it, I'm banking on that, just like you can count on whatever I'm telling you. It's a guarantee. So if I don't get that, man, it kind of turns me the wrong way. But somebody told me a while ago that I have the option of changing my mind, and I didn't get it. Well, I got it, but I didn't want to accept it. See, I have to keep saying that it's hard to accept things. So I had to really learn how to accept things, man. That's what I did. Because the trick is, the truth is, you do have a right to change your mind. Just a second. I think we have a caller. Let's see. Caller, you on the line. Can you hear us?
Uh-oh. Caller, you got to turn your radio down.
Caller, can you hear us?
I think they hung up.
Yep.
Their radio was up too loud. I can hear it in the background.
Caller, if you can hear us, you can call back. But when you're on the line, you have to turn your radio down because we'll get feedback.
We hear it.
So again, I was told that you have a right to change your mind. And that was a hard pill for me to swallow because I really didn't think about it being that simple and yet that true. Everyone has a right to change their minds, right? So I guess you just have to prepare for that or just accept it. It's part of life, I guess.
Yeah, that's I don't know. That's a tough one. 'Cause I mean, for me, I always been big on that. Like you said, you know, we always that loyalty, and me always try my best to be a man of my word. You know what I say, I try to do. I make sure I try to carry it out. In a relationship, is that much. I ain't gonna say it's that much harder, man. I mean, excuse me. I mean, depends on the relationship. As long as you got a partner that's open and willing, you know, because I never try to change nobody because I don't want nobody to try and change me. So, you know, we try to work together and do or try to find something that fits. You know, again, I don't want somebody that I can control. I mean, I want, you know, my wife to have her own mind, her own thought. I don't need her like a dog. Sit, you sit. You know what I say goes. That's not what I'm looking for. But you do got some men that are like that. That's what they want. What they say go. That strong arm. Using that. That's just never
That's for
been.
people who want to be in control. Yeah, we do have
Yeah.
some of those.
But that just never been me. I just try to, and like you said, it just took some adjusting because I had to realize that, people that I've been involved with weren't raised the way I was raised. So I had to, look at that, try to put myself in their shoes, because they wasn't always, like I said, they may have not been brought up the way I was brought up. So it was like, hey, I before I just start going crazy, let me just take a sit back and try and get some type of understanding out, like, hey, where is this coming from? And a lot of times you see it. You be around their family or whatever, now you see it. But, all right, these motherfuckers crazy. All right, now I see where is it. Like, all right, there you go. So, like, now I see where you get it from. All right, I got you.
Well, back in the day, this is why old people say you have to court someone, man. You're supposed to court people before you actually get into a relationship and start having children, right? You have to get to know a person and their family. This is why they want to know who you related to, who's your mama, uncle, aunt, and all that.
Yeah, but we had that discussion at work before. And a lot of times, like I told the women, you are man and woman. It goes both ways. When you first starting to talk to somebody, y'all in a relationship, you're not meeting that person. You're meeting their representative. That's who you're meeting. You're not meeting that person. You're meeting their representative. You won't really begin to know that
That's
person.
the problem, man.
You won't begin to know that person until y'all really start getting into a heavy relationship.
Caller, you are on the line. You have to cut Blacksmith off and see what this caller's talking about. So, caller, what you got to say?
Yeah, so I'm calling because I'm the mother of one of these children. Somebody keeps referring to. And let me just first address the male caller who says the women's best works in the kitchen and the bedroom. Y'all's best works in the yard and in the garage. Cut these hedges and mow this lawn and fix these cars. Heck out of here. Yes, he was very chauvinistic.
Hey, y'all got some hedges that need trimming too now, don't?
So we're cutting the lawn. So basically, what y'all gonna cook? Are you gonna fix the cars? What's up? Because he said most of y'all want to trade places today.
If y'all think we're supposed to be in the kitchen and the bedroom, I can name a few places y'all should be too.
See, but
to answer your, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, to answer your question, are we ever on the same page? No, this is like an age-old discussion. We're never going to be on the same page. We're never going to agree, especially in 2021. Like, this is a totally different day and time, and men and women just think a lot differently than how we grew up, in like the 70s and 80s. It's different, and I don't think it's going to get any better.
Just because of what's the old saying? Nothing changes but the time. Like everything the same, nothing changes but the year. That's it. Same old thing, man. Just a different year. That's all. Same thing, different year. So what makes a woman today different from women in the past? I've named a few, but why is the thinking different now? Because let me finish. If the thinking is different, that means we raise these children who think this way, right?
Well, I mean, are we raising them or is social media raising them? I think social media plays a huge part in how our young people, not even our young people,
which we as parents should have control over that.
I'm about to say,
absolutely. But at some point, you're not in control of what your kids watch and what they do. You can only raise them to a certain point and hope that everything that you taught them and everything that you told them sticks with them in the long run, but they're going to veer off and they're going to do their own thing. And again, I think social media is a huge influence on our young girls and our young men. young girls today, and I won't say all, but I think society and social media has played a part in not holding women, girls, accountable for some of their actions. I think that our young men, maybe walk away from responsibility when they shouldn't be. There's a lot of mama's boys out here. I might be the mother to some mama's boys, not because that's how I raised them, but just, I wanted to give them a lot more than what I had because I was trying to overcompensate for a father not being in the house. They probably cling to me a little bit more, than their father. But, yeah, I just think there's a lot of accountability that is missing from our children from this generation, period.
Okay, and what about your generation?
Well, I guess you could say that about any generation, right?
How was your generation with men? Why are we not on the same page? Because I truly understand why our children are not on the same page. Like, I see what they're doing. They are doing a lot of things differently. But what about us? Why isn't our generation on the same page?
Because they were stupid. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're not. But go ahead.
I'm really not. I don't think that about you guys. Well, not all of y'all.
On this podcast, we are speaking the truth, okay? So you do not have to bite your tongue. No one can see you, so you can speak your truth. It's all good. Okay.
Some, but not all. I don't know. I don't know where the disconnect is. I don't know the answer to that. I can just talk about the relationship that I have, being the mother of one of these children, that I have with you. We have a lot of issues.
Who,
with
the blacksmith?
you telling me that I don't listen. Yeah, with you telling me I don't listen all the time, and I do listen to you. You think it goes in one ear and out the other, and I do listen to you, but you're not always right all the time.
Like
99%. Yeah, I'm always right most of the time, and it's like you don't hear me.
Right.
All right, this done turned into a couples therapy now.
See, now I'm gonna agree with Blacksmith.
No, not at all.
Because Blacksmith said it earlier. Sometimes you just be like, all right, you win. Gotta let you win. So you win.
But I have to say that to you too. 99% of the time.
No, 99% of the time.
I don't want to argue.
Look, I don't mind letting you win that 1%. We can't. Ain't nobody's perfect, man. I got that one. I'll take the L every once in a while. You got it. But not today.
But most of the time, in relationships, or at least in mine, when the man is right, y'all get real quiet. Y'all ain't got nothing to say. Y'all get real quiet and get this little goofy look on your face, like, damn, he got me.
Not this one. This
I
one,
agree.
they got to fight to the end. They can't let it go. No. Them motherfuckers gonna fight me to the end.
When he is right, I will yield. But when I know I'm
true,
right,
man.
the party got to keep going.
See, now,
It does.
You know what? I'm going to let you get off the phone because it's going to turn. They're going to take a left.
About to
And
say,
then
Whatever.
your son might be
You
listening,
go
might be
left,
mad
I'm
at me,
going
and I don't
too.
want your son being mad at
couples therapy.
Whatever.
me. Next.
Bye.
Damn. Yeah, call in. Don't even tell the truth. Callers, the number to dial is 315-925-7262. I'm sorry I missed one call. I actually could have answered your call, man, instead of this one. She gonna call in with some BS on it.
Here we go.
Come on, man. Let's really talk about it. This is women versus men. Do we understand each other? Are we ever on the same page? That's what I want to know. Come on, man. Let's really talk about it. Because we don't seem to be on the same page.
Again, like I said, it just goes back to, like I said earlier, man, just given the situation. Certain situations we'll be on the same page. Some situations we won't be. Like I said, I know my experience, a lot of them came with discipline. We weren't on the same page. Like the way I'm rougher on my boys. So
as usual, man, that's what most fathers do.
You know, and she was
push over with the girls.
yeah, she was rougher. You know, she was more rougher. She was she was rough on the girls. So, but at the end of the day, we made it work. Came together, and to me, that's the best. That's the most important thing at the end. You know, willing to make that compromise and come together.
All right. Let me see who else got text coming in. Y'all want to text me personally instead of calling? Call in 315-925-7262. Let's go. Who else want to talk? Let's talk about it. Oh, that's what it's doing.
We had a couple.
So you hear the echo now?
Yeah. What you do?
All right. Nah, it's gone again. There it is.
What you over there doing, man? You messing with stuff?
Because they keep telling me to hear an echo, so I'm wondering where the echo's coming from, because I wasn't hearing it on our end, but I guess they were hearing it.
Well, it's not there. I mean, they could have been hearing my phone, some of them.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we get all this stuff situated, man. What we going to talk about, man? Because, again, I don't think we'll ever be on the same page, but I think we can definitely understand each other. And again, like the first caller was saying, it's about communication. It's definitely about communication. And like I said, being able to accept things, man. You cannot put expectations on people. You will always get your feelings hurt. I had to learn that the hard way. So you have to let people be who they are. If you can accept them for who they are, then you have a better chance of actually getting along, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's about. Relationships is about compromise. You got to compromise. All right. Got another call
here we
coming
go.
through.
Let's see.
Got another one coming. Excuse me.
Oh, they done hung up on us, man.
Again?
Yeah. All right, we had a hang up again. I don't know if maybe it was my connection or their connection, but please call back. We'd like to hear from you. 315-925-7262. And this topic, man, can go on so many different directions, man. Again, I didn't want to get too crazy with it because last time we had to talk about definitions and, you know, accountability, man, different things as far as trying to talk from a male's perspective. And this is why I like to, if I can get a group of men to really sit down and talk, man, and because we have different conversations. I know most men will have a different conversation with their daughters than they will have with a female friend. There's just certain things that we tell our daughters that I know they're not going to tell you. It's a big difference. I mean, so we can go down a slippery slope here, man, and I guess we can dive into why men and women don't understand each other. For me, I just think that we really can't be 100% truthful with each other. I guess everybody holds a little back, man, but those are the little things that sometimes come back and bite you in the ass, as they say, man. So sometimes that's what I mean by you have to let a person accept who you are. And that takes time. You just don't want to roll out and tell everybody everything about you when you first meet. And this is why you have to get to know somebody. So the longer you guys actually get to know each other and become friends and are able to talk to each other, man, you have a greater chance of staying together and bonding together, man, and making something actually work.
I can agree with that. Definitely need to be get that friendship first, get to know somebody, you know, but like I said before, we had this discussion before, and like I said, a lot of times when you first meet somebody, you're not meeting that actual person, you meeting a representative.
Yeah, because we all want to put our best foot forward.
Exactly. So it's not until you actually spend time and actually be with that person till you see truly what that person is about.
And how much time does that take?
It depends.
See, and how are you going to see it? For me, I don't think you ever really see a person, man, until you actually move in and live together.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's why I said it depends, because you got some people who it take them a while to feel comfortable, you know, to really show you that side. Cause you got women that are.
So then you're what's so wild? Because
Yeah,
again, if I'm with you for 2 or 3 years and you still haven't shown me who you are, then I mean, when we gonna get to who you are? 5, 10 years from now, and all of a sudden the truth come out, and I'm stuck 10 years down the line.
Everybody different, but that's how it be though. Cause you got women who, yeah, I mean, you got women that be in relations for somebody 5, 6 years. Shit, they don't want to fart in front of their man yet.
Hey,
so
man.
you know what I mean, like, so you got women. You know what I mean, like little stuff like
Now look,
that.
let me. That's funny you say that.
So, you know
So
what I mean?
when is it
Like-
all right for your woman to fight in front of you? First day y'all meet, is it all right for her to just be like, fuck it?
Nah, I mean,
So I'm
if
saying,
that's your thing, then that's your thing. But I mean,
But why is that when it's something that we all do? That's why I laugh at people like, hey man, if you're human, I'm sorry, it's just what we all do. But for some reason we get all bit out of shape when it's done.
yeah, that's your thing. You know what I mean, if that's what you like to do, you know.
So when is it all right? So when
first
is it
date?
okay for your girl to go ahead and be like, hey man, shit is all good, right?
Hey, I guess whenever she feel comfortable. You know what I mean, I can't tell her when. I mean, shit, I know if I got to break when, I'm gone. Shit, I'm breaking it. So.
But see, I guess that's a man's thing. I don't know if they feel that's not ladylike.
I feel
right?
like you, like, hey, shit, we all do it. You know what I mean? Shit, I ain't trying to put my moms under the bus, but shit, we grew up here with moms. You know what I mean? So shit, hey.
I ain't say mine. So. I ain't tell you.
You know what I mean? Like Bill Cosby said, an elephant ran up under there.
That's your baby talking about you, not me. I'm gonna beat him up for you though, all right? Oh man.
I mean, yeah, it's. I mean, will we all ever be on the same page? I don't think so.
See, but there's a reason. Why not?
Just women aren't gonna wanna, and this is just my opinion. Most women want things their way. Most women aren't willing to bend and compromise and see things from a different perspective. And again, that's just my opinion.
Definitely is, because the last 2 women just said
Yeah.
that you heard them say they say they bend more, they do more compromising. So you're already wrong, homie.
And it ain't, because I mean, hey, just like I told my wife in the beginning, I mean, I don't need a woman to do nothing for me. I can cook, clean, I can do all that. All I need is some ass from a woman, and I ain't
Right.
gotta be with you to get that.
Right?
So,
That's what I'm talking about.
you know what I mean? It's like, come on now. If I'm with you because I want to be with. I don't need you to take care of me. I don't need you. I can cook, clean, I can do all that for myself. You know what I mean? I was raised to be able to take care of myself and be independent. So it ain't, for me, you got most men, they with a woman because shit, they don't know how to cook. They don't know how to fold clothes. You know what I mean? They don't know how to wash their clothes. Hell, some of these niggas barely know how to wash their ass. So, I mean, like,
So, all right, so now you kind of going towards the women today, saying they actually do more. It's like, hey, they gotta cook, clean, go to motherfucking work, come home, take care of your lazy ass, chilling on the
remember,
couch.
that was the I don't want to say that was the norm back in the day, but that's how it was. Most women took care of the man. So, like I said, I was one of those who was lucky enough and fortunate enough to not have to depend on a woman to take care of me. That I could take care of myself.
All right, for the most part, though, you think most men, because they can get up and go to work if they choose to do it. So you're saying they depend on a woman as far as to do kitchen work. So it's back to what Mike said, kitchen in the bedroom. Or is it just that, hey, that's what a woman is supposed to do? Are they supposed to be in the kitchen? Are they supposed to be taking care of the home? I mean, I do believe that there's certain chores, man, whether it's being done by a man or the female. If you guys are working together, man, whichever way it goes, I just think it should be split down the middle, and you guys should understand who's doing what and when it's being done.
There's certain things that I would not want my wife, girlfriend, whoever, I wouldn't want to do. Like taking out garbage. That's not a man's job, even though they say, well, that's a man's thing. A man's supposed to take out the garbage. I just wouldn't want, them doing that. I mean, unless I'm not home or not physically able to do it, that's not something I would want to have them do. But at the same time, I can pick up a needle and thread and get to sewing. So it don't. It's like I said, for me, it's different. I can do some of the same things that a woman can do when it comes to household stuff like that. So that's why I guess for me, I don't think about it because it's like, hey, whether she does it or not, it's gonna get done because I can do it. So for me, it's not like, damn, baby, you ain't make no dinner or whatever. I tell her, you don't cook. Shit, I bet I eat. You know what I mean? Shit, it don't matter. Whether you cook or not, I bet I eat.
All right, so look. I don't know, man. It seems not. A lot of people are not calling in. I thought I would get more females to call in and really question what we're saying. It seems to be a lot of happy homes out there. If so, why is everybody arguing? I mean, I hear a lot of people arguing and bickering. So if everybody's so happy, man, what's up? What's all the arguments about? This is why I'm having this topic. Why are we never on the same page, man? But can we come to some understanding? And again, for me, with my relationships, I just think that I don't know. I don't think people have ever been. I don't think the females I've spoken to ever listened in the beginning. I just think a lot of times, and I don't care if y'all get mad, a lot of females just want to hear things, man. Like the one caller was saying, they go off of emotion. And a lot of men know that. We know that, hey, pretty much all I have to do is tell you what you want to hear. And it's weird. I think it only works in the beginning. Shit, once you get them, they don't hear shit else after that, man. It's just like, you can tell me what you want me, tell me whatever I want to hear in the beginning. But once that relationship starts, it's like slowly dissipates, man, and y'all just stop hearing anything.
See, for me, it's just like, hey, I ain't got the time for it. I ain't got the time or the patience for it. But I'm also
you're off the market now. You gotta think back to old past experiences, man.
Even if I was, like I said,
what was the arguments about?
My mindset is I'm kind of like a woman. That's my mindset. Now I'm like, all right, well, what you bringing to the table? You know, I always look at a man. What you bringing to the table? What you gonna do for me?
Well, I think I think pretty much everybody's like that today, man. If you can't bring something to the table, pretty much worthless, and that something is normally money.
But a lot of and for me, it ain't what you bringing to the table other than some kids and some ass. What you bringing to the table?
That's how I feel too.
What you got to offer? Because I know what I got to offer. So what you bringing to the table?
All right, but what if your offer ain't big enough?
So I'm like, hey, like I said, I know my worth. I know what I got to offer.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? Like I said, that's how females normally would look at us. All right, what you bringing to the table other than some dick? What you got?
And that's what I said. You after that, it's about money. So if you got some money, you can pretty much, I don't know.
Shit, nowadays, they want to see some money up front, too. Shit, man. Shit. It ain't no, all right, now, shit, they want to see that up front. But, you know what I mean? It's I don't know. We touched on these subjects before, man. I mean, a lot of it is partially upbringing, being raised different. You know, like I said, I know between me and my wife, we was raised differently, opposite sides of the tracks. Yeah, we did some things kind of the same, but for the most part, our households were totally different. So it was like she wasn't used to seeing the things that she saw with me and vice versa. I wasn't used to seeing some of the things with her. I'm like, hey, I wasn't raised like that. So like, fuck is this? What the fuck going on?
I would agree with that. Different things, man.
And, and it was vice versa. She would look at me like, hey, I ain't used to seeing all these niggas together, brothers close, this and that. And, like some people, I mean, even today, people look at us like, hey, how you that close with your brother or whatever? Because you got some that are so separated.
Yep. Well, here's a question that's probably going to get you in trouble, man. Who do you think lie more, men or women?
I'm going to say that's about 50-50. Because for me, I guess it depends on the situation. If I have to lie about something, depending on what it is.
If you have to lie about something, huh?
Yeah. So, I mean, some lies you might be like, hey, you know what? She don't need to know that shit.
Yeah.
So, I'll be like, whatever.
So, all right, let me play devil's advocate.
But,
What if she felt the same way? Hey, you don't need to know that shit.
Hey, she probably do. Like I said, as long as I don't know, or as long as she
so
don't
what you
know,
don't know won't hurt
ain't
you,
nobody
huh?
hurt. Yeah, shit, ain't
I
nobody
don't
hurt.
believe in that shit.
She probably do.
Yo.
She probably do got shit that she never told me before. It's like, hey,
I believe in that if we're not together. Anything, and look, if we get together, anything before me, if you want to tell me, cool. But if not, all right, that's before me. As long as you ain't sleep with my brother, something like that, I'm cool with it. That's all before me. But anything that starts from here on, man, like, I don't need any secrets because I'm not going to hold any secrets from you. So I don't believe in that, motherfucker, I don't need to know that. Because, again, sometimes a person might feel like, well, I think I did need to know that. And if y'all already made some type of agreement, man, I feel like sometimes we try to choose or decide for the other person after we already came to some agreement, and I don't think that's fair. So I try to be as fair as I can. If, again, I'm trying to give you the same respect, man, that I would want from you. But anything before me, that's cool. But I would try not to hold anything, man, because I know sometimes, man, that can come back, bite you in the ass, and then a little thing turns into a big thing. And that's why I asked that question, because a lot of people feel like, well, they don't need to know that. And what's that? How you know I don't need to know it?
Well, a lot of mine's come from with the kids. I mean, because I know there's stuff that my kids talk to her about that won't talk to me, and vice versa. My kids talk to me about some stuff that, they not comfortable talking to her about. And,
I agree on with that one.
But now the only difference is I will let my kids know if it's something that I feel she should know.
Right.
I will let her know.
Okay.
Other than that, it's definitely kept, between me and them. So there has been times when it came down to the kids where she like, what y'all talking about? Like, nothing. Between me and them. Don't worry about it. Of course, there's some attitude, but it's like, hey, I gave my kid my word. That's between us, and that's what it is. It's going to be between us. If it's something that I felt she didn't need to know.
So you said that's 50-50 as far as lying. So who you think cheat the most, man? Men or women?
Again, that's about 50-50.
50-50, huh?
Depends on the circumstances. I mean...
now I definitely need the women to call in, because women don't feel like that. They feel we cheat more.
Well, of course.
They feel we cheat a whole lot more.
Of course. And I mean, I'm not going to be a biased dude and sit here and say, shit, I think women cheat more. I mean, but, I believe it's about 50-50. I mean, seriously. I
always tell women, man, if we cheat more, who do you think the men are cheating with? A single woman? Why, like, there's no need to cheat, right? If you're single, who hiding? So, this is why I always laugh when y'all say that. Who do you think the cheating man is cheating with?
I mean, hey, I sit and watch now. That's all I do. I sit and watch.
Yep. I don't know, man. We need some women to call in. Come on, who gonna call in on up and let's talk about it? 315-925-7262. I want to know if y'all think we lie more or we cheat more. What's up? What's the numbers here, man? What do you think? What's your percentages? I can pull some up on the internet and see what they talking about. That's all different. I'm still trying to figure out why we're not on the same page. I know a lot of times we end up, and that's for me too, man, we end up having children with people we really don't know, and that's a big problem too. I can admit to things, man, that we have children with people that we don't know. And then you find out that you definitely, like Blacksmith was saying, you're raised differently, man, and what you think is okay or what they think is okay is not okay with you. What they seem is no big deal, man, is a very big deal to you. So it can really cause a strain, man, between a relationship, between you, your children, and the whole family dynamic. So that's another reason why I know a lot of people argue, and it's not good either way, but it always goes back to trying to know somebody. Definitely you should know someone before you decide to have a child with them. And that's why we have to get on the same page. This is why we have to understand each other before children are brought into this world.
And that's one of the things, me and my wife did our best to not do is argue and fight in front of our kids. Whenever we argued and fought, they was either not home or they would sleep. We tried to do it where they didn't see that. So, like, my kids will tell you, they never saw us argue and fight growing up unless we was playing around. I mean,
Right.
other than that, they never saw us in a heated discussion. You know, that was one thing I could say that we agreed on. See, we could agree on some things. That was, mutual agreement. We never wanted to do that in front of our kids.
Right.
So,
Oh, I didn't. You beat me on that one, little bro. I've had plenty of arguments, man, in front of mine, man. It's not cool, but at the same time, my children will tell you. If any of them are listening, they can definitely call in. I've always told them to call in. They can speak their truth. I've always pulled my kids to the side, and I've always had one-on-ones. One thing I didn't want to do is tell them some BS about how the world is, and then they actually grow up and see something totally different. So I always told them, no, this is real life, man. This is not what you see on TV. This is not the damn Cosby Show or none of that. This is real life, man. People argue, people get in fights, people get kicked out, whatever. This is the real shit that you're going to run into. So you need to see it. You need to understand how to work around it, how to get through it, and that will make you a better person, man. So I'm not going to camouflage anything that I do or try to sugarcoat it. This is life, man. This is what life is about. You got some ups and downs, man. So all that shit you see on TV, that's the fantasy life. This is reality right here.
I mean, that's one thing we always taught them and showed them. That's one thing I've always said to my kids. At the end of the day, I'm not going to steer you wrong. I'm going to give it to you 100. Once you get out there in the world ain't going to give a fuck about you. They're going to keep it moving.
Not at all.
You fall, they ain't waiting for you to get back up. They're going to trample right over you and keep it going. So, when it came to life, that was one thing I definitely, again, that was something she and I agreed on. Yeah, we may have had a few disagreements, but for the most part, when it came to telling them about life, the truth, about the world, that hey, it's a cold world, it's cold out here. You know what I mean? It ain't all peachy and cream, like you said. It ain't the Cosby Show. You know what I mean? It ain't what you see on TV.
Nothing.
Ain't nobody gonna stop and wait for you to catch up. If you fall behind, you gotta, if you don't pick yourself up, you just stuck. You left there. World not gonna wait for you. The world not gonna hold your hand.
Not at all. Not at all.
But, when it comes to men and women, I mean, yeah, will we ever see eye to eye? Given the situation, I believe so. Certain situations we can see eye to eye. Will we ever be on the same page? Again, certain situations, but for the most part, I don't think we'll ever see eye to eye or be on the same page completely. It's never gonna be completely. Never. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, because there are so many topics to touch on this, man, that men and women go back and forth with as far as what roles each one, deserve to play or should play in the household, outside the household. Again, I agree with one of the things the first caller said about not being able to even open up a door for females today. And I've had this encounter a few times, whereas like it's hard to show chivalry today. You can't, if you open up a door for women today, you actually get a screw face, man, or you might even get a smart remark. And that I don't understand. It's like they're not used to a man actually being a man, or even holding a door, carrying a bag for him, or even saying hi. If I say hi to you, it's all of a sudden I want to talk to you. I want your number. Some of us are just trying to say, hey, man, what's up? Having a good day. Let me open up the door for you. Let me carry your bag. Don't want anything from you.
Yes. That's what I don't know. What's the attitudes about? Yes. I mean, damn, it's like somebody just try to be nice and say hi. Hell, that's a part of my job. How you doing?
Sure.
What you mean, how I'm doing? Like, are you serious right now? Like, for real?
Unless you got some dough in your hand, man. They said, we don't need no damn hi. But show me some cash.
But in the same breath, if you don't speak, you can't speak. Like, come on.
They say, damn if you do, damn if you don't, man.
Like, for real, what's the attitude about? That's what that should be another topic, man.
What's the attitude about?
Yeah, what's with all the attitude? Like, for real.
Maybe we'll have next week discussion. So if you women are listening, since y'all didn't want to call in and really debate about, men versus women, Blacksmith24 want to know what's the attitude about.
What's the attitude
Why are so
about?
many of you walking around with attitudes?
like he said, you just say hi. I just open the door. I don't want nothing from you. I'm being nice. But if I slam it in your face or don't, now you're looking at me like, oh, you couldn't hold the door for me?
Shit, man.
Like,
you tell you more than that today, man.
Like,
Shit.
you know what I mean? I don't get it. Just because I hold the door, hell, I was raised to be a gentleman. I'll open the door for you. Now, that don't mean I want some ass.
Somebody in the chat room said it's because they already put on a pedestal. It's like they're entitled. Are they? Do you women feel like you're entitled?
Entitled to what?
And see, and that's why we're never on the same page, because I want to know what you're entitled to, too. Because if you're entitled to some stuff, I'm entitled to some stuff.
They don't, I mean, and it ain't no disrespect, but you do got a lot of women who, you know, think that stuff between their legs is gold. Like this, that's the potion. That's it. And again, I don't mean it no type of disrespect, especially for those who don't think.
Yeah, let's get in on it. Let's
for
get
those
in on it.
Who don't think that way, but you do got some who think like, well, shit, you know, my shit, you know. Like, you know.
What'd you say, Blacksmith? Is it all that? They got some on it. What they got on it, man?
You know, shit, they got some sunshine. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. Look, I'm like, what's Slicer Harrison back in the day, man? It's 1 for 1. Shit, he gives some D for some that. It ain't, hey, that's an even exchange over here, man. I feel the same way. So come on. A lot of them do feel. Again, I need some females to call in. I hear somebody right now, again, they were saying that you guys feel like you're entitled, and like Blacksmith was alluding to, a lot of you feel that way because of what's between your legs. And I'm going to tell you from a man perspective, if you lead with that, that's what it's going to be about.
Oh, yep.
So just let me get that through your head. If you lead with that, that is what it will be about, and you cannot change it. So you can say whatever you want, and y'all don't have to believe me, but if you lead off with what's between your legs, it will stay that way.
Yes, sir, most. I ain't going to say all, because there's a few exceptions to the rules, but most of it, once you give it up on that first night, that's all you is just some booty. That's it.
Unless you slip up and have a kid, now it's like forced to.
Those are the exceptions
to the rule.
All of them ain't like that, but you know, for the most part, the majority. I mean,
all right, let's keep it real. For the man who does slip up, you better watch out for him, because that motherfucker will marry anybody. So let's just keep the shit real, man.
But not even that. I mean, let's just say you and the person hit it off good or whatever, then, you know what I mean, y'all end up, you know what I mean, being intimate that night. So, I mean, there could be some harmless, you know, where, all right, it was some casual stuff. The mood was right. Like you said, the moon.
But that is the exception to the rule. Like you saying, if y'all already hit it off for the night, and y'all got some kind of bond. Like
some chemistry was right, and y'all just hit it off. But I mean, that's what I'm saying.
You're still gonna look at your side. I don't give a damn what Blacksmith's saying.
But you know the one, because you're gonna think like that. All right, maybe, what was this about? So you know, like I said, there's some exceptions to that. You know what I mean? You don't.
See, Blacksmith can't say it all, so I'm a fill in the blanks.
I mean, it ain't. I mean, you get some who just say, hey, you know what? There are some women who you know, like, all right, yep, she just easy. Then you got some who, you know, they not.
Yeah.
Make you work for it a little bit, you know. Or Janet Jackson, wait a while.
Yeah, most men waiting a while. So that's the trick too. I'm sorry, man. I know I'm about to break some hearts out here, but are most men waiting a while? What's a while? So we all have different time frames over here, man. This is why I say we'll never be on the same page.
Not all the time, but yeah.
Yeah, you better be special, right? Hey, man, y'all. I need somebody to call in. I don't want to tell too many secrets on this line right now. I don't want anybody at home arguing, man. So let's call in, ladies. If you dispute anything we're saying, if you can tell us why we're always on different pages and how we can start to understand each other, and just maybe we can make things a little better.
That first day booty. Give you some booty and make you some biscuits from scratch in the morning. That's that dude that's staying. Like, hey. Nah, man, we just having fun. No harm, no disrespect, ladies, no disrespect at all. We just trying to get the answers to that age old question. Do we understand each other? Are we on the same page? That's that question from the beginning of time right there.
All right, I'm about to get you in trouble, man. I'm getting texts from Miss Blacksmith. Let me be quiet over here, man. I gotta look out for my little bro. I can't have him go home getting in trouble because of what Big Brother talking about.
Hey, that's you, man.
Look, we just trying to keep things real, man. I want to understand why we always on different pages, because we can get to a personal level. Like, again, the friendship thing. I found this out. I found out that, like, my female friends, and I mean like a female friend that there's no sexual stuff going on. There's really nothing, man. Just a real female friend. For all the guys out there, if you ever have an opportunity, man, to have a real female friend, they'll actually tell you the truth. They'll tell you, just like your mama, they'll tell you everything your girlfriend ain't gonna tell you. So I've found out how to actually know what women do and what they don't do. All of my female friends have told me pretty much the truth, man. And shit, there's a lot of shit I ain't want to hear, man. I wish I didn't hear. But the truth hurt. So again, I was like, well, shit. This is why I say, man, women are, you guys are worse than us, but won't admit it. But again, if you ever run into a real female friend, she'll tell you the truth. Now, can I get some females to call in so we can discuss it? I thought the guys were supposed to be the dogs, man. But it's kind of, I don't know, I'm down with Blacksmith. It's like, I might say 60-40, the women winning. I know what men would do. I'm a man. So this is why, again, I always tell my daughter, hey, besides me and your uncle, we're the only two men. I ain't gonna ever lie to you, man. So just trust me when I tell you that. I mean, they got, their grandfather too, so I respect, shout out to Pablo, man. He's not gonna, ever lie to his grandkids, man, so I respect that too. Other than that, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I really thought there was gonna be a lot more women, man. I guess they don't. I ain't gonna say they don't want to hear the truth. I guess they don't. They don't want to be. I guess they don't want to be put on the spot. I should say they don't want to be put on the spot.
We can talk about the men too, man. I mean, what's wrong with the men? Is it us? Are the women doing more than us today? Or back in our day? Again, I grew up seeing something different. So again, I grew up, we watching our mom, man, and our aunts go to work and raise their children, man. Shit, still cook and clean at the crib, man. Mm-hmm. So I just grew up in a different household where we witnessed strong women too. It's not all about, I guess, man and female roles in the house. Again, you got to have some understanding. If you guys, maybe the guy want to wash dishes and wash his clothes, man. We grew up doing it, so I don't have any problem washing my own clothes, washing dishes, or doing any of the household chores that women do. I grew up doing it. But yes, I don't want to be the main one doing everything. You're not doing anything. If it's going to be 50-50, we work together, man, then that's what it's going to be. We got another call. Let's see.
Call from.
That's what moms used to always say that. Be able to take care of ourselves. Why that depend on the woman?
Caller, you on the line. Hello, can you hear us?
Caller, can you hear us?
Let's see. Caller, can you hear us?
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's calling you?
We lost the caller.
No, they're on. We just can't, I can't hear. They're not coming through the, hello. Can you hear us?
Nope, now I don't know.
I don't know if this thing is working or not. Let's try it again. Caller, if you can call back, we'd love to take your call. Love to hear your opinion.
So, see what happened. So, caller, if you're listening, please call back. See who gonna chime in on this.
Write that down, man. What'd you say you wanted next week topic to be about?
Chime in on this
all the attitudes about
conversation. Yeah, the attitudes, man. We gotta.
Well, you need the younger generation to call in for that, man.
See what the
For the most part, I don't think I haven't seen too many older women with attitudes.
Getting
You know, it's the younger generation that normally have all the attitudes, man, which I don't understand. I don't know what that's about. Guess HG and Mr. C is not gonna make it in today, huh?
I don't know. Yeah, like he had a lot to say. Like he had a lot to get off his chest. So kind of surprised.
Last night he did, right?
Like I said, it must have been the alcohol talking. Blame it on the alcohol.
Uh-oh, somebody said too many of us playing video games. Who that, the men or the women? Who playing the video game? Well, I know they talking about the guys, right?
Yeah. See, and I ain't no video game person, so I know it ain't me. I think I stopped playing the PlayStation. Nah, I did a little.
They said get off the damn video games.
I did a little Wii, but I did that with my kids. So yeah.
Like I feel we all have to have some type of entertainment, man, to get your mind off things. But the 5, 6, 7 hours doing it, yeah, I think that's way overboard, man. That's why you got to be able to limit things. Even when you're grown, man, you have to limit that and go back to being a father or a boyfriend or whatever other options you chose, man. Yeah, you got to stay off the video games. You can't be on the video game 7, 8 hours. You actually could have been at work making some money, homie.
Okay, but then there's the age-old question. If he's spending all these hours on the video games, obviously he's not working. So where he getting the video game from? You had to buy that video game for him. So in hindsight, you kind of responsible for that. Well, you bought him that video game.
I don't know if she's referring to the younger generation or grown men, because again, there's a lot of men in their 20s, 30s, even 40s playing games.
Yeah.
So, how much time they're playing the game. Again, I don't know the dynamics. Some people go to work, come home to the game. Go to work, come home to the game. So, yeah, I need to know a little more. Are you saying that, hey, this is a person who's on his game all day, every day, not handling his business, or is he actually going to work, paying bills, and he's spending the majority of his free time playing his game?
Yeah.
And that's the problem too. A lot of us, again, we get in relationships and we have different things in common. You might want to play games all day. I might want to read a book or do something else. And that's going to be a conflict when you try to interact with me, or you want to take up some of my time, of my playing game time, or I'm taking up some of your time that you want to just read or be by yourself and relax.
And again, that's the compromise in a relationship, where if you're gonna be in a relationship, y'all gotta take time out for one another. Whether it's going to the movies, sitting at home watching TV together, whatever. Y'all have to take. There has to be some time that y'all have to spend with each other. Because if not, then it's like, well, what are you there for? To me, now it's just like y'all just roommates.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's it. Y'all paying bills, sharing bills, but I'm in this side of the house doing my thing. You on your side of the house doing this thing. So it's like, where's the relationship? That's more like roommates. Because then it turns into now y'all not intimate with each other. Now, damn, if you want to feel like it, now it's just, too much dynamics in that, too much.
Yeah. Somebody said she live upstairs and he in the basement with no job. I don't know if that's good or bad. I mean, if you're allowing your man to stay in the basement without a job, I guess that goes to what you're just saying. They're condoning it, right?
Yeah. You enabling him to do that.
All right.
I mean, me, like I said, again, guess it's just upbringing, man. I was just been raised not to be able to have to depend on a woman for anything. So I have to get out and, I got to work. I got to be able to take care of me. I mean, people say, shit, I want somebody to take care of me. I don't want to do nothing. But like, nah,
again, like you said today, man, you got to bring something to the table, right? You want to know what they're bringing to the table? Is it can't just bring love anymore? Can't just bring affections?
Nah, what's love and affection? I mean, that's within us. How is that love and affection gonna help us grow and build? You know what I mean?
All right, so what if you got somebody that, like
bring in
the
some
other
love.
caller was saying, they want to stay home, take care of the crib, they do all of that, and you go out, you get the money and pay the bills. I'm going to take care of the house.
If that's a mutual thing that's agreed upon, yes, okay. Because y'all talked about it, y'all agreed upon it. But if you coming in the door with that expectation, but that's not mine, all right, now we got a problem.
See, and that's what I want to know right now. So can I get some females to call in, even men? Because this is why I say this is where we're going to hear the difference if people really just tell their truth. The number to dial is 315-925-7262. Call in. I would like to know what are you guys looking for in a relationship? What do you want from a man? What do you want from a female? What do you expect? Are you looking at short-term, long-term? Are you like marriage? Does it matter? I would like to know these different options, man, because we all have options and we all choose to rather or not to be in a relationship with someone that we really don't know. So you're always taking a chance trying to get to know somebody. But what are you looking for? Is it just the looks that get you to talk? Or are you looking for him to have some money? You looking for him to have a job, education? Do you care? Do you not care? I think that's where we always get the disconnect. A lot of times we want something that we know we can't offer, and this is where I always tell people, for me, I don't want you looking for something from me that you're not able to offer me. It doesn't mean that you have to be able to do everything I can do, but you can't expect 90% from me and you're only willing to give me 40.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just like most, I ain't gonna say most, that's just like women who, want these, well, like we was talking about yesterday. Everybody with all these, $3,000 with food stamps. First thing y'all want to go out do and get shrimp, crab legs, not all this stuff. But if you ain't have all the food, that you wouldn't be getting this stuff.
Hey, tell the truth, man.
Why your kids sitting here eating noodles and noodles?
You said they buy oodles and noodles for the kids and crab legs for the man. That's for them and they man at the crib. The one playing PlayStation in the basement like this lady's saying out here. So you'll buy the crab legs and a lobster for the man playing the game in the basement.
And got your kids eating oodles and noodles and drinking hug juice. And, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, let's be real.
It's not funny, but
if you can't, supply that stuff to yourself on a regular, you know what I mean? Who?
That's your job. You're the man.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's just like being in a relationship. This is how I look at it. If you want me to take you out to these fancy dinners or whatever, pay for this dinner, again, I have no problem with doing it. But if that's not something that you can't do for yourself, if we weren't together, don't just look at, all right, you know what I mean? Don't just look at me for that. At least be able to do something that you can, do something that you should be able to do with or without a man.
Right. Again, see, that's something you tell your daughter, man.
Yeah.
And that's something that most men or some of these women are not hearing.
No, you know your level, you know your road, you know the road that you on.
Right.
Don't try and veer off, to the higher road or whatever, because you feel, all right, this person got it, he gonna do it for me or whatever.
They say, hey, man, this is the Jefferson. You over here, and we moving on up.
If you couldn't get on to that road without me, then let's stay on this same road.
They said, then why I need you? If we gonna stay on the same, if I'm gonna stay on the same road when you come over here, then what's the point of having you?
It's the one thing building together. You're not just gonna get it off of me.
Hey, I'm just telling you what I hear, man. What's the point of having you, but I'm gonna stay on the same level over here?
Because it's building together. Again, what you bringing to the table?
You know what I'm bringing? Like you said, I'm bringing some to it. Well, what's up? How much is it worth?
It's going. You know what I mean? It just goes back to that. Like I said, what we building together. All right, I know what I had when we first started. You know what you got when we first started. Even if we wasn't on the same level, we may teeter-totter or whatever the case may be. But if we balancing it out and moving forward together, then I'm on. You know what I mean? That's what a relationship supposed to be about.
All right, ladies, come on, call in. Tell me what y'all think about Blacksmith's version of what a relationship's supposed to be about. Do y'all agree with him? Do you think you're supposed to bring something to the table? Or, hey, is sex just that? Is that it for the women? That's all y'all need to bring to the table is sex, and we need to provide everything else? Or come on and come talk to me, 315-925-7262. I want to know,
I mean, like I said, that's just me going based off of my experiences, past relationships, and even current. So it's like, what we doing? I know what I got to offer. I know what I'm capable of doing, and I know what I'm currently doing.
Okay.
So now, what you got? Your energy either got to match mine. You know what I mean? We ain't got to be a spot on match. Like I said, it's gonna be a little teeter totter. But if we can level it out, and then smooth up, go from there, then you know what I mean? I'm all in. But if you expect me to be top dog and all of that, where you just living off of me, now it's just like, all right, nah. I can do bad by my damn self. I don't need no help.
So what if like most men?
Now, I tell people that all the time. I can do bad by my damn self. Don't need
Here
no
we
help
go.
with that.
Let's see if we can get this one right. Come on now.
Here we go again. All right, we're gonna see.
Caller, you on the line.
Okay, so I'm a younger female, and I feel like when it comes to a relationship nowadays, you want to be with that old school but new school mentality of being equally yoked with somebody. I think we don't do a lot of communication in the beginning. Like, what are your goals? I mean, people are going to sell you who they think you want it, who they think you want them to be, but in the same breath, you have to listen. People will tell you a lot if you just sit back and listen. And I feel like, depending on how you were raised, which is a lot of the problem nowadays, I would say, dating and seeing people older and younger, your maturity level, what were you exposed to as far as like retirement or, where you want to live, how many kids you got, your respect. Did somebody abuse you to the point where you hate women, but and that caused you to mistreat them? Your siblings, the dynamics of your family relationships. I feel like that is questions that are not answered a lot, and people just look at looks a lot. I feel like social media plays a part of influencing their mind, going off of superficial lifestyles. So I feel like that's the problem with my generation.
I can agree with that, to an extent, other than as far as how you were raised. See, and I go back and forth with people on it with this all the time because I got kids on both sides. They all been raised the same in the same household, but I got some that choose to veer off and follow their friends, no matter how much I preach to them and told them about being a leader, not a follower. But you still got some that go astray and want to do that anyway. I mean, do the household play a part? Yes. But at the end of the day, everybody got their own mind to make up their own choices. Like the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. It's the same
That is
thing.
true.
We can give you all the tools and the knowledge. Most people, and like you say, most, when you see that family structure, as you get older and you go out, start having relationships and stuff, that's what you look for. You try to look for that same dynamic that you had. Like most women, you hear most young ladies who have fathers say, hey, all right, I want to find a man that's like my like my dad. I see how my dad was as far as the man of the house worked, disciplinarian or whatever. That's the type of guy they go look for. And vice versa with a man, looking for a woman. If they seen their mom a certain way, that's what they try to veer towards because that was the structure that they grew up around, what they seen.
Now you mentioned that you said you're younger, and most people your age are influenced by social media. So do you think you guys are going to find a man based off of what you see on social media or acting like what you see on social media? Do you think you're going to find your dream man that way?
No, because that's why I have been off of that. I don't base my lifestyle on posting everything that I do. A lot of things are for show, and people are used to showing that superficial person. That's what I mean by maturity level. And yes, you can be raised by the best parents, but if you want to be a follower, that's what you would do. It takes a strong person to say, nah, I'm not going to act like that because that's how my friend got her man. You get what I'm saying? You could be around a whole bunch of different people. You could be around somebody that likes married men. That doesn't mean that you have to like that, but it's all about who you choose to be around. If you don't elevate yourself, who will? And that's a lot of what I mean by maturity level. When you grow up and you want better, you do better. You can't go based off of how people are getting what they're getting. Just, boosters, they still get their clothes or whatever. If you're a hard worker, like this is going to lead me to a place that my goals are not, I can't get to my goals in jail. I can't get to my goals having these charges. I want to keep my slate clean so I can get where I need to get in the end. So it's about what you accept, who you be around, because if you're not around people who want better, you tend to be influenced by their decisions and start lacking in life as well. So I surround myself with people who kind of are on the same wavelength as me. If they want houses and they want to work and they want to do better and be better and see the world travel, instead of being out here twerking like everybody car and on social media drama, having drama all the time. Like, that's corny. I feel like when you change your mind, you change your opinion about life. I mean, looks are cool and all of that, but they can change. And that's what I notice with older people. I see, talking, it's like, okay, yeah, back in the day, they used to be fine. But, some of them is like, woo, they turned to drugs and stuff. I don't think people look at the longevity of life. My age, they're living in the now. And I think that's where we're stuck at a lot, too.
Yep. If we got another call. Caller, I'm going to have to let you go. I do appreciate you calling in. We appreciate your support.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye. You're welcome. Bye.
Did it let me call her? Hold on. Let's see, Mike.
Did it come through?
I don't think it did. Nope. I'm going to have to learn how to put people on hold, man. Caller, I'm sorry to cut you short. You did have a good point.
Good point, yeah.
You really did. I wanted to ask her something, too, man. I wish I knew how to put this thing on hold. We're still learning how to use this phone system, so I apologize again because I wanted to ask her about, women her age, man, and why they do the things they do. Again, I don't know how much of influence social media is, but you have Lizzo, you got Cardi B, you got Meg Thee Stallion. You got a lot of people today, man, just showing everything. And I don't know, it seems like that's a new thing. It seems like it's okay. When we were growing up, you didn't see it. You know what I mean? You saw a few women, man, doing it, but it wasn't like the thing to do. And today it just seems like everybody accepts it.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't see it unless you was watching a porno movie.
Right.
I mean, the most we got.
That's not saying we don't want to see it,
yeah.
but you just couldn't walk outside and see it so readily like this.
I mean, in our age, our day and age, most of them was, biker shorts.
Call from.
That was it.
Hey, this is Solomon.
Just
biker
biker
press
shorts.
1 to send a voicemail.
Caller, you on the line.
Yo, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
We doing good. I didn't know that was you. I'm glad you got through, man.
Yeah, my other phone is charging, so I just called on this phone instead. I was having a little difficulty too, so.
We appreciate the call, man. So, the conversation we're holding today is women versus men. Do we understand each other?
Yeah.
Are we ever on the same page? What you think?
Yeah. No, it's not supposed to be on the same page. that ain't. And I'm being funny and I'm being serious at the same time. It's people's inability to understand that you can't. I tell people all the time, only one person thinks and processes and articulates like you. That's you.
Right.
And that's okay. Recognizing, the point is that we have to recognize that we are unique in that way and understanding that, there's going to be those differences. There's going to be those idiosyncrasies and those anomalies in your relationships and being okay with that. But you guys touched on a whole lot of great topics. And so
Right now I'm glad I'm not dating anymore, thank God. But it's crazy out there. I was there was a period where I was just like in this whole thing that's called going Dutch, right? And so it was like, on the first meetup, let's go Dutch. And, women would get upset and irritated by that. And at first I was like, yeah, I could see, I sided with them, but then I'm like, wait a minute. Two people that don't really know each other. And we're saying we're going to meet at some space. You going to pay for what you eat, and I'm going to pay for what I eat. How is that a problem? I'm not asking you to cover mine. I'm asking you to do what you would do in any other setting. You go out with your homegirls, you go out with your family, whatever you go out, you pay your share. Why would you expect somebody, I think it's a fair assessment, not to mention that there is an article and there is, if you have homegirls that are honest, they'll tell you there are women that are literally just looking for a free meal.
Yeah.
They're going to go out with you because, listen, I'm going to eat for free, and that's it. That's what they call him for. That's what he's there for. And so nobody wants to be taken advantage of. And so into the situation on a level playing field. That's what I said.
And for those who don't know, going Dutch, like you said, if y'all going out to dinner, the man pay for his meal, woman pay for her meal.
50-50.
Yeah, because you got a lot of younger listeners who don't know.
There's some real hurt feelings about that. Like you're like, don't want to say nothing. I ain't talking to you. You're not a man. Wait a minute. I'm not. You going justify my masculinity and who I am and my identity because I don't want to pay for what you are going to eat and I don't know you no longer than a week? Come on. Let's not insult that practice. That's insulting at that point. And the irony becomes this, but if I flip it and I say, okay, I am going to pay for it, now I'm wrong if I'm looking for sex.
That's right.
I pay for the meal, then I'm wrong. I'm like, let's go make this thing happen now. I done dropped all these ones. Like, now it's different. Now it's different. Now I'm not being reasonable again. Like, I need you to pick a lane.
Well, some of them will say that's what you're supposed to do as a man, as a gentleman. You're supposed to take me out, court me, get to know me, and if I come back, that's what a man does, right?
See, but
right. So
that the same time
that comes from. So here's the thing that people don't have these conversations, and if you guys ever have a chance to listen to Kevin Samuels, check him out. He's hilarious. He's funny and he's right. But people forget that chivalry is not based on the ideal of putting women on pedestals. Chivalry is actually based and founded on the ideal of women's inability to be able to take care of and look after themselves. Everything that chivalry is and everything that we identify it as, look at it real closely and you'll see it's with the understanding that the woman is the lesser of the person.
Okay.
I open the door for you. Oh, because you're not probably strong enough to open the door. I walk on the outside of the street, which if the car coming anyway, I'm not going. What am I going to do with the car? It's probably going to take us both out because we're both that close together. It's not going to just happen to just get me and miss you. That's probably not going to happen. But there's paying for the meals and things like that. Paying for the meals came from the idea that women did not have money, were not allowed to work in those times, and their fathers or their family took care of them. And so when you took them out, they didn't have any funds, they didn't have any money, they couldn't work, they weren't allowed to work, so you had to pay.
All right,
now,
so you're going with time. You're saying since times have changed, then things have changed. So now that men don't need to pay for it because women are working. I'm playing devil's advocate here.
More money than some guys. And I'm like, yo, wait a minute. I get the same bills you get. I pay the same rent, the same mortgage. You pay rent, you pay mortgage. I got children, you got children. Like I don't have this extra abundance of money that you don't have. We both have the same responsibilities. How is my money more expendable than yours?
The expectations of you might get some. That's why.
And see, even that's a nice. And so everybody, and And then the conversation, then we enter into this thing called equality, right? Women want equal rights. Well, equality is not based on what's comfortable and when it's beneficial to you, when it's ideal for you. If we're going to say equality, if we're going to say equal, it has to be consistently across the board. So you have an equal voice in how, if we're in a relationship and, you know, the decisions that we make, but you also have an equal responsibility to ensure that the financial or other aspects are made. That means, yes, equally means, yeah, you can go ahead and take the car to the shop and make sure it gets taken care of. Or, you know, or you can go and pump the gas or whatever. It's equal. Everything is equal, not part. You can't pick. It's not partial. You can't pick and choose this thing of the stuff that I feel like being. You know, I feel like being equal to. I want to have an equal voice in the relationship. I want to be an equal partner, but I don't want to put the equal work in. Where that work at?
Hey, I agree with most of the things that you have said. I have a person in the chat room right now. He asked a question. So is the male no longer seen as the provider?
So I say, so this is what I tell people. First, we have to get out of the idea of that our social system is in most cases, is not set up to where one person can live off of one salary. It's just not that one person can't sustain a family of, let's say, 4, a spouse and 2 children off of one salary. Both parties, in most cases, are going to have to work.
I agree.
The providing part is just making sure you off your butt and you're bringing funds into the household or into the circle. You're adding to. You are providing to. Does that mean you have to be the sole provider? I don't think you can do that these days unless you have a well-paying job. It's going to be very difficult for you to sustain all of the financial responsibilities solely by yourself. That again. We're coming from that model of the 50s and the 60s where it was easy. You could definitely support a whole family on one salary. But the average person I'll be generous, and I'm going to round up, the average person makes about $40,000 a year. Who are you supporting on $40,000 a year?
I agree.
You're going to have to get to it. You're going to have to get another job. And so I also say to people, do what works in your relationship. I don't say stick to any model. You know, whoever the provider is, let that person be the provider. You know, whoever's going to be the breadwinner. However y'all work it out. The biggest problem I think people have used is that you've used this.
Lost the call.
Yeah. Hey, call back. You were actually having some good insight on what we're talking about, man. We'd like to hear more. So we have any females that agree or disagree? I want to give a shout out to Alpha Male 77 who asked that question. Is the male no longer seen as a provider? Again, I don't know, man. Like the caller was saying, I believe it's 50-50. I do believe things have changed. It is a new age. You cannot provide for a family off of one income unless, yes, you are making, I would say, $80,000-$90,000 a year. If not, man, it's definitely difficult. Unless you know how to cut some ends, bargain shop, grow some vegetables, then you can kind of make it work. But anything short of that, man, you definitely need another income. So with that being said, I would like to know, are there certain things that a man is supposed to do, and are there certain things that women are just supposed to do? Or is that day gone?
See, now I feel that day is gone. Because, I mean, it's kind of touchy, man. I mean, because sometimes, I ain't going to say supposed to do. There's just certain things that I won't allow my wife to do. Not allow in that aspect, in that sense of it. Just saying that there's things that I won't have my wife do, that I won't expect her to do. Like I was saying before, something as simple as taking out the trash. I don't expect her to do that. I don't,
right.
Unless, like I said, I'm physically not able to, that's not something I will have her do.
And that's what I was going to say. The physical jobs, I do believe.
Changing brakes,
right.
Doing something to the car.
It's a man's job.
Yeah, I'm not going to have, that's not something I'm not going to have her out there.
Now, what about the women that like physical work?
I mean, hey, if you like to do it, you want to do it. I mean, granted, it's not that I don't want her to know how to do it. I still want to, like my daughters. I want you to know how to change some oil, be able to change a flat
But if
tire.
you're there, man, we got it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I still want you to know, same with mom. She did it for us, but
Right.
at the same time, she showed us how to do it. While she was in that kitchen cooking, she had us right there watching her. So we knew how to do it for ourselves.
Yeah, I think the last caller, man, had a good point. Look, I don't think it's a man does this and a woman does that anymore. I really do believe as you guys sit down, you figure it out together.
Yeah.
Like he was saying, I don't care who's the breadwinner, who's doing this. It's whatever works for you two. If you come down, you come up with a solution, then you have to work wherever you guys came to an agreement on. Make it work for you. What someone else does in their relationship may or may not work in yours. So you can't duplicate something else that you see. You can't replicate it. You have to find out what works for you two, and you guys make it work.
I agree with that. Definitely. It's again, just going back to, like we said, with that chivalry, like you said, like really, what is it?
I don't know. Well, we were raised that way, Mike. I always will open up a door for a female or carry bags for older women. And again, I'm not looking for anything in return.
It's just respect.
Right. I don't look. It's just the way I was raised, and it's just weird, man, that women today don't understand it, or like somebody was saying, they give you the attitude or turn up the nose, damn near curse you out just for trying to hold up a door. Most older men don't want anything. It's just a lot of us were raised with respect or respecting women, or especially elderly, not even an elderly woman, just elderly men and just elderly people in general. Because we were taught and understood that, hey, one day you're going to be that age.
Exactly.
So you got to respect older people, man. I see some people rushing in front of them, man, knocking them down, won't even carry a bag for them. And I just think that's very disrespectful.
Exactly. And like you said, knowing you're going to be in that position one day.
Just don't think they say it like that, because a lot of people only think for today.
But like I always tell them, there was, young kids that I see doing that. I'm like, hey, come on, man. Now, what if that was your mother or your grandmother, your great-grandmother, or whoever?
And that's most of the time you have to explain it that way for them to understand where you're coming from.
Now, if that was yours, you'll be having a fit. So why would you think it's okay to do it to somebody else's? And I think if more people thought like that, I think we would start to be on the right path to being better. I ain't gonna say completely, because we always know that ain't the case.
It's not, man. It's not.
That ain't the case. But at least it'd be some sort of a start. More people kind of thought that way. More of like, just, hey, put yourself in that person's shoes. I think we need to do, society itself need to do a lot more of that type of thinking. Put yourself, in that person's shoes. They don't do that, especially these younger kids today. It's all about me, I. They definitely not thinking about, the elderly, getting older, stuff like that. That's definitely
not at all, man.
Out the window for them.
Not at all. So I think next week, man, we're going to have a couple of topics, man. I thought we'd have a lot more callers today. But I do want to talk about, like you said, what is the attitude about today, man? What's going on with the little stuck-up attitudes? And I also want to dive deeper into some other things, because I've had this conversation with different women and men about, I think a lot of women don't know what we like. I think that, again, they're following social media and they believe that all men like that. And I'm telling you right now, that's not the case. So I also want to talk about next week, hey guys, what do you like? Do you like a plain female, no makeup, none of that stuff? Or are you into that? Are you into the fake hair? Are you into the fake breasts, fake butts? I like to know what turns you on and what doesn't turn you on, man. What are you into? What happened to just showing respect for each other, man? And why are so many females angry? What are you angry about, man? Just for nothing.
And we all know that stuff is good to look at. But the question to ask is, would you bring it home to mama?
Ooh, that's right. Will you bring her home to mama? It's a good question. I don't know if you females are ready to hear the answer to that. but I know you're not going to accept the answer. So we will talk about it next week. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out, man, joining us on Nowadays. Again, tune in next Sunday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on the Talk Sports News Station. Also, Monday through Friday, you can check out Blacksmith 24/7 for the Ride at 5 on the Rap Hip Hop East Coast Station. Every Friday night and Saturday night after midnight, you can check out H.G. Wells and Seldom on Who's Up. That's every Friday and Saturday night after midnight. Anybody else you want to talk about, Blacksmith? Anything you want?
Don't forget, man. Every Friday, 1 p.m. on the Comedy Poetry Station.
Dang.
Got the No Name Podcast with Mike Terry and Torrance Jackson. That's at 1 p.m. Then it replays again at 5, right? But we're going to move it to 6.
Yeah, I want to talk to them. So we're going to replay it at 5, but it may move to 6 because that conflicts with the Ride at 5 with Blacksmith 24/7. Again, check out the comedy show. That's at 1 p.m., and that's also live on YouTube.
C2C Indie Radio. Don't forget, go to cdcindieradio.com. Submit your music, submit your material. When I say your material, I mean, poetry. Again, we got a comedy poetry station for those, who do comedy, spoken word, poetry. You can submit your material. Also, small businessmen and entrepreneurs. You can also submit your information to be placed on the website, your advertisement stuff on the website, and also on the stations. Also, don't forget, download the apps, Google Play and the App Store. Download the app, C2C Indie Radio. Also, hit us up, subscribe, like to the YouTube channel, C2C Indie Radio. Also, IG, Twitter, C2C Indie Radio, Facebook, C2C Indie Radio 1.
Yeah, and also want to give thanks to Legacy Artist Productions. They have a lot of artists that are actually coming on the show. We'll be having a few interviews coming up pretty soon. We had Henny and Osama here that was this past Friday. This Friday we'll have Henny again with TJ. He's actually one of the guys who sings on his song, so we're gonna have another interview. We have a lot more coming up, man, so you guys stay tuned. Again, thanks for coming out. We appreciate it, man. And as always, this is Seldom Seen and Nowadays.
Peace.
Ain't nobody trying to stack nowadays. Everybody just wanna be where it's at nowadays. Real talk, that's a fact nowadays. Very few got your back nowadays. Chasing money ain't the same nowadays. A lot of niggas ain't the same nowadays. Flip game ain't the same nowadays. No, nothing ain't the same nowadays. Chasing money ain't the same nowadays. A lot of niggas ain't the same nowadays. Flip game ain't the same nowadays.